Radiant Black, issue number 28 from Image Comics. So I will be doing another review later today on issue number 28.5. And for anyone who's just confused about the 28 and the 28.5, Radiant Black is doing a events. It's the Catalyst War, and there's two separate timelines. There's one timeline where the character Marshall is Radiant Black, and then there's another timeline where the character Nathan is Radiant Black. And so Marshall's timeline is the main numbered run, I guess I could say, and the 0.5 run is Nathan's. So right now we're going to be dealing with Marshall's, and in the previous issue, Marshall is undergoing trials from Catalyst. Catalyst is basically testing him, and in the last issue, it ended with Catalyst killing Nathan. And so, yeah, we actually have Nathan's funeral where everyone is obviously upset. Satomi and Ava are there as well. I have no idea where Franklin is at. I guess he just didn't care. Or he's just too busy. Ava being upset is kind of weird. So I was saying Satomi being upset too, maybe a little bit. But then again, she did have some interaction with Nathan after she put him in a coma. I don't know how much they actually talked, but I want to say that Ava and Nathan didn't really communicate at all. Anytime Ava dealt with the Radiant, it was usually with Marshall. So her being upset, whatever. I mean, I'm not gonna nitpick this. It's, some people just maybe aren't good with funerals, which is kind of funny because I'm the opposite. I can't deal with funerals, but not because I get upset, but just because I get really bored. And for anyone who's watching any of my videos, this is I guess just a little bit off topic. Anyone who's watching my videos, you'll notice that I might laugh or chuckle a lot. And it's not just when I find things funny. It's just how I process emotions. So I'll laugh if I'm embarrassed or confused or scared or upset or whatever. I laugh a lot. And the last time I was at a funeral, I actually laughed during the funeral and kind of disrupted it a little bit. So yeah, I'm not good at funerals in that regard. I tend to laugh. Which is funny because that's actually not the first time that something like that has happened. I've actually laughed during a moment of silence during a wake. It was a moment of silence, and I had been drinking a lot of soda, and right in the moment of silence, I burped really loud and started laughing. Yeah, I don't know why I brought that up. I just thought that was kind of funny. Anyways, yeah, funeral. Everyone's upset. Marshall's crying. Kieran, who is the owner of, I guess he runs the post office. I'm assuming the post office, I think it might have been said before, but it's been forever, and I've read so many things in between. But post office seems to be like a CIA front, or like a front for another 3-letter organization, but they're just referred to as the post office. They basically have a bunch of high-tech weapons, and they're kind of helping the Radiants try to take on the Catalyst. And Kieran is trying to get Marshall under control. He's trying to tell him, hey, you need to get your head in the game. I understand that your friend's dead. Everybody is upset about that. But you're still undergoing the trials. And if you fail this, Earth is going to be doomed. So you can't let your emotions control you. You have to use your brains. You have to get that under control and deal with it. Bottle it up for now. He doesn't really help the situation. Marshall just basically flat out calls him a pussy and says either help me or get the hell out of my way, in a sense. And he goes to talk to Nathan's parents, and Nathan's mom kind of blames Marshall for the death of her son. And yeah, Marshall's like, all right, enough of this crap. Let's take the fight to them. And so he powers up as Radiant Black, brings some missiles, and chucks it at the spaceship. Doesn't do anything. But that's when he realizes he gets a call. And there's these energy balls, these weird glowing orbs that are appearing in the city. And when Marshall goes towards it, the suit absorbs a little bit of it and doesn't seem to really have any kind of effect. He just says it feels kind of weird. It's kind of painless. I don't know what's going on. But he's like, wait, these things seem to be kind of powerful. So he decides to use his gravity to take the orb up with him, and he chucks it at the ship and blows a hole right in it. And that's when he calls the post office for help. And they send a whole army to basically infiltrate this ship. And as this is going down, he gets a call from Kieran that more orbs are appearing. So Marshall gets the idea, okay, these orbs seem to be doing damage. I'm just going to use all these orbs. I'm just going to start chucking them at this ship and just trying to blow it up. And that's basically what this entire issue is. It's just him chucking these orbs at the ship, fighting against the catalyst. And there will be some spoilers just because I need to talk about them a little bit. Do a somewhat review between this and 0.5. So, yeah, things do not go well. Marshall ends up failing the trial. A whole entire city gets destroyed. And he basically gets approached by Premier, who says that you failed, so you're going to be executed. And this is kind of leading me to believe that Marshall's timeline is going to be the non-canon timeline. Just because of the fact that we don't have any of the other Radiants participating in this story. Nathan is dead. So the fact that they killed off like the main character, well, there's two main characters, Marshall and Nathan. The fact that they killed off one of them in Marshall's timeline only kind of leads me to believe that this isn't the one that they're going to go with. My theory is that this is going to be the timeline that leads into the post-apocalyptic scenario that Franklin was mentioning in a few issues back. Nathan's timeline is going to be the one that prevents that post-apocalypse. So I think that the end is going to end up being Nathan that takes the powers, which I'm upset about because I hate Nathan as a character, but I'll discuss that in Nathan's video. So yeah, Marshall fails, city gets destroyed, a lot of people get killed, Nathan is dead, and Marshall's about to be executed. That's Marshall's story. I'll say the artwork's fine. It's same artwork that we've seen in every other issue. Like they haven't changed any, the artist, so artwork's okay. Action scenes are pretty good. Outside of that, it's average, I guess. I don't know. I don't really have any complaints about the artwork. It's not like amazing or anything, but it's nothing that I would shame. Story itself, this one was more action packed than the other one, but I really do feel like this issue, this story, like Marshall's story, is even though it's the main, it has the main number, it's not a 0.5. I feel like it's the one that the author is not putting the most effort into. Again, this is just my personal like opinion on the subject. Obviously, I could be completely wrong, but it really just feels like it's super cliche, and it feels like he's putting more into Nathan's story. What I mean by cliche is the fact that we have a character who his friend dies, so he gets super upset. His emotions get out of control. And because of that, he goes down a path that causes even more chaos and destruction and more damage. So more harm than good because of the way that he's already at, this mental state he's already in. This is a scenario we've seen so many times. Like I immediately knew that as soon as we saw him berating Kieran and not following his orders about controlling his emotions, I already immediately knew he was going to fail. Like, I would have been surprised if Marshall had actually succeeded in destroying Catalyst. So it was predictable. It's cliche, doesn't do anything different. I knew exactly where it was going to go because I've seen it so many times before. And that's kind of how Marshall's story has been feeling. It feels kind of cliche, and it feels like not much has happened. Like, describing Marshall's story, his issues, takes a lot less time than describing what happens in Nathan's stories, because Nathan's stories have way more going on. So I honestly feel like, again, this is just my opinion, I could be wrong, but I feel like the writer wanted Nathan to win. He put out a vote, who should be the Radiant Black, Marshall or Nathan? And he was hoping that Nathan would win, but I think Marshall ended up winning, and so he's doing a story where Marshall is the Radiant, but he's kind of half-assing it, and he's putting more of his attention on Nathan's story. Again, I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying that's how I feel when reading these two issues back to back. It feels like he's putting more focus on Nathan than he does on Marshall, which is upsetting because I think Marshall is the better character. I find him way more interesting. I like the fact that he has more flaws, and it just makes him more of an engaging character. Whereas Nathan, he doesn't. He doesn't really seem to have too many flaws. And when things do go wrong, it's not necessarily because of him. In fact, in his issue, things go wrong. But again, it's not because of him whatsoever. It's because of other people. Other people are the ones that are doing wrong that hurt the cause more than him himself. I'll go into more detail when I do Nathan's issue review. But yeah, like Marshall, everything that goes wrong is because of Marshall. Whereas in Nathan's story, everything that goes wrong is not because of Nathan, it's because of other people or outside influences, which makes Nathan just a more boring character. I don't know. Hopefully things will change. We'll see. But yeah, there you go. There's Radiant Black number 28. Things just basically go to hell for Marshall, and he gets a bunch of people killed, and he fails, and he's about to get executed, and his best friend is dead. So sucks for him. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still want to thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next one is more to your liking. With that said, thank you once again, and I hope you guys and gals have a good one. Later.